In many organizations, vendor payment requests involve multiple steps: submitting requests, getting approvals, recording data, and storing invoice documents. However, these steps often happen across different systems that are not connected. With Yeeflow, Power Automate, and SharePoint, we can create a fully integrated and automated solution. Yeeflow manages form submission and approvals. Power Automate connects and orchestrates the process, and SharePoint stores structured data and documents. Together, they enable seamless integration, automated processing, and full visibility. Now, let's see how this works step by step. Let's first look at how Yeeflow connects with Power Automate. In the Power Automate Flow Design interface, click the Add a Trigger button. In the panel that appears on the left, search for Request and choose when an HTTP request is received. Next, in the Who can trigger the flow, select anyone. At this stage, our goal is to obtain the HTTP URL that will be used to connect Yeeflow with Power Automate. However, this URL is only generated after the flow is saved. To save the flow, Power Automate requires at least one trigger and one action. So here, we quickly add an Outlook action, send an email, into the flow. Then, save the flow. After saving, Power Automate automatically generates an HTTPS URL. This URL serves as the endpoint that connects Yeeflow with Power Automate. Copy this URL. Next, go to Yeeflow Workflow. The workflow is already configured. Here, we only need to complete the HTTP request setup. Open the HTTP request action and paste the copied URL into the HTTP address field. Set the method to POST. Then, in the data section, define the data you want to send from Yeeflow. These fields come directly from the workflow variables, such as request title, vendor name, invoice number, amount, applicant email, and invoice file. The data is structured in JSON format and represents exactly what will be transmitted to Power Automate. Now, return to Power Automate. In the request body JSON schema, define the same data structure using JSON. This ensures that Power Automate can correctly receive and interpret the data sent from Yeeflow. Next, quickly add and configure the remaining actions in the flow. Once the integration is set up, the entire process runs automatically. When a request is approved in Yeeflow, the workflow sends an HTTP request to Power Automate with all the submitted data. Power Automate first uses the Create Item action to create a new item in a SharePoint list, storing the request data in a structured way. Next, two compose actions are added to extract the invoice file information, including the file ID and file name. Using the file ID, Power Automate calls a Yeeflow action, getFileContent, to retrieve the actual file content. Power Automate supports multiple Yeeflow actions, enabling seamless interaction between the two systems. Once retrieved, the flow uses the Create File action to upload the invoice document to a SharePoint document library, ensuring secure and centralized file storage. Finally, notifications are sent through Microsoft Teams and email, keeping stakeholders informed in real time. Now let's walk through the process from the beginning. Now that the integration is set up, let's take a look at how a vendor payment request is submitted in Yeeflow and see how it flows through the integration process via Power Automate and SharePoint. First, a user starts by submitting a vendor payment request in Yeeflow. Once submitted, the request is automatically routed through an approval workflow. Managers can review and approve the request directly within Yeeflow, ensuring a controlled and traceable process. After approval, the workflow triggers Power Automate to process the data. As the flow runs, we can follow each step and see the results appear in SharePoint. The Create Item action writes the request data into a SharePoint list, where the new record is immediately available. Next, two compose actions. Extract the invoice file ID and file name. Using the file ID, the getFileContent Yeeflow action retrieves the file. Then, the Create File action uploads the invoice to the SharePoint document library, where the file is stored with the correct file name. Once the request data and invoice document have been stored in SharePoint, Power Automate sends notifications to relevant stakeholders. A message is posted in Microsoft Teams and an email notification is sent. This ensures that everyone is informed in real time without manual follow-up. With Yeeflow, Power Automate, and SharePoint, vendor payment processes can be fully automated from submission to storage. This integration eliminates manual work, ensures data consistency, and provides full visibility across systems. Start building your own automated workflows with Yeeflow today.